From 1882 to 1971, Sloss Furnaces in Birmingham played a crucial role in the Industrial Revolution by converting coal and ore into strong steel. This steel was used in various applications, from constructing skyscrapers in New York to manufacturing automobiles in Detroit. Birmingham and Sloss Furnaces became vital for supplying the materials required to produce a wide range of products. Consequently, Birmingham experienced rapid growth and earned the nickname the Magic City. However, progress always comes at a cost, and in this case the price was paid in some form. In the early 1900s, James Wormwood was the foreman of the graveyard shift, which was the period between sunset and sunrise. During this time, a small crew of about 150 workers worked tirelessly to keep the furnace running. The conditions during the hot summer months were unbearable, with temperatures in the plant exceeding 120 degrees. The combination of lack of sleep, extreme heat, and poor visibility made working in the furnace an absolute nightmare. Only the most desperate workers, who were in dire need of employment, would take on this job. These workers were mostly recent immigrants, who were forced to live in cramped housing located on the furnace site. They could be called back to work at any moment without any regard for their personal lives. In order to impress his supervisors, Wormwood would push his workers to take dangerous risks and increase production speed. Unfortunately, under his leadership, 47 workers lost their lives, which was 10 times more than any other shift in the furnace's history. Many others suffered injuries, accidents, and even a recorded explosion in the small blowing engine house in 1888, which left 6 workers blind from burns. There were no breaks or holidays for these workers. Their lives revolved around the furnace and its insatiable appetite for coal. In October 1906, James Wormwood tragically fell into a pool of melted iron ore from the top of the highest blast furnace, known as Big Alice. His body instantly melted upon impact. According to reports, it was believed that Slag became dizzy due to the methane gas produced by the furnace, causing him to lose his balance. However, it is important to note that Slag had never been on top of the furnace during his years of employment. Some speculated that the workers had intentionally caused Slag's demise as a result of his harsh treatment towards them, and that they had fed him into the furnace. However, no workers were ever brought to trial or held accountable for this incident. Following these events, Sloss Industries decided to discontinue the graveyard shift due to numerous accidents and strange incidents that had been occurring, ultimately leading to a decrease in steel production. Workers have been complaining about encountering an unnatural presence more frequently at the work site. In 1926, a night watchman was injured after being pushed from behind and angrily told by a deep voice to go back to work. Despite searching the area, the man couldn't find any other living person. In 1947, 3 supervisors went missing and were later found unconscious and locked in the small boiler room in the southeastern part of the plant. None of them could explain what had happened to them. They all agreed that a man with badly burned skin approached them and angrily shouted at them to push some steel. Perhaps the most horrifying incident occurred in 1971, the night before the plant closed. Samuel Blumenthal, the Sloss night watchman, was taking a final look around when he came face to face with the most terrifying thing he had ever seen. He described it as simply evil, a creature that was half man and half demon, which tried to push him up the stairs. When Blumenthal refused, the monster began to beat him with its fists. Dr. Jack Barlow examined Blumenthal and found him covered in severe burns. Unfortunately, Blumenthal died before he could return to Sloss. There have been over 100 reports of suspected paranormal activity at Sloss Furnaces, as recorded in Birmingham police records. These reports range from minor incidents like steam whistles blowing on their own to major sightings and even rare physical assaults. It is interesting to note that the majority of these reports occurred during the months of September and October at night, during the old graveyard shift. Some people dismiss these occurrences as Halloween pranks, while others believe it is the restless spirit of the sadistic foreman. In 1988, the Center for Paranormal Events, CPE, conducted a study on Sloss Furnaces in St. Petersburg, Florida. Although no unusual events occurred during the study in May, many team members, including 2 psychics, believed that Sloss Furnaces should be considered a place with restless spirits due to the violent disregard for and loss of life that occurred there. In 2000, Sloss Furnaces was studied again by the paranormal team of Fox's Scariest Places. They concluded that it had one of the highest rates of unnatural energy they had ever encountered. In early 2002, a skeptical investigative team from CBS affiliate WJTV visited the site. They left convinced that Sloss Furnaces was haunted after capturing amazing footage, which can be seen on their website. Another investigation took place in 2003 by the Alabama Foundation for Paranormal Research. They stated that there was no doubt Sloss Furnaces was a hotspot for paranormal activity. Through their scientific methods, they found unexplained energies present at the site. They considered it one of the most paranormal active places they had investigated. On October 4, 2003, another incident occurred involving one of the crew members. Josh Thomas, who had worked at Sloss Furnaces for many years, suddenly caught fire after seeing a strange shape. He suffered burns all over his body and was taken to the hospital. He still cannot remember what happened. Interestingly, this incident happened almost exactly 32 years after the Samuel Blumenthal burn attack, which involved a night watchman in 1971. In 2005, two psychic investigators from the TV show Airline were investigating Sloss Furnaces when one of them started bleeding from a cut that appeared on his right hand. This halted the investigation, but the camera crew managed to capture images of spirits on their cameras. In 2009, the Unexplained Mystery Investigation team visited Sloss Furnaces and captured spiritual shadows on film. In 2012, the team from Ghost Adventures visited and were physically assaulted, which was also caught on film. In 2014, TAPS, Ghost Hunters, visited Sloss Furnaces and filmed absolutely phenomenal footage that proved the presence of spiritual activity.